All right. Hi, everyone. It's Dan Mortimer with eXp Realty, and I am bringing you the latest and greatest in Henderson and Las Vegas real estate. This is your weekly market update for Monday, December 2nd. This is data for the last 7 days. For those that were looking for an update video last week, I put one together. I tried uploading it to YouTube and I had all kinds of issues with my file. So my apologies, we missed a week. But I still want to keep you informed on what's going on. So I put this video together with the current market data. Let's take a look at the last 7 days and see what's going on here in Henderson and Las Vegas. Okay. First off, we had 399 new listings in the market. If you'll notice, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but these numbers are going to be a little bit different from what we typically see because we had Thanksgiving. So not as many people are putting homes on the market, not as many deals are coming together, and we're not always seeing things closing as much because we basically had 2 of our 5 working days that offices were closed for Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. So 399 new listings in the market, though that's a pretty strong number. Obviously a lot less than what we typically see, but there were also 99 homes that went back on the market. So they had a deal together, buyer and seller had an agreement, deal fell apart, property went back on the market. So 99 of those in the last 7 days. We had 312 listings that had a price decrease of some kind. Could be $1, could be $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 or more. But 312 listings had a price decrease in our market. There were 147 that went into under contract show status, and then another 226 that went into under contract no show status. So in total, you're talking about 373. If my math is correct, doing some quick mental math there. 373 compared to 399 new listings. Pretty good balance. There were 350 properties that sold in our market last week. That one is not quite as dependent, other than the 2 days being the 2 days that a lot of offices were closed. A lot of people will set their closing date weeks in advance. So 350 solds, and then there were 25 that went into coming soon status, meaning that they will be on the market in the next 30 days or less. But for now, coming soon, may or may not have photos, things like that. Looking at the overall picture, 5,888 single family homes that are actively listed. This is in the Las Vegas area, so Henderson, even into Boulder City, other parts of town, North Las Vegas, Summerlin, all that. 5,888 single family homes, 1,208 condos on the market currently, and 736 townhouses. As far as kind of what I'm seeing in the market, we saw a little bit of activity pick up in November as far as, just the number of buyers in the market, people looking. We didn't necessarily see the number of buyers shoot up, and we didn't necessarily see the number of sellers putting listings up. That didn't shoot up either. So still a little bit of a slower market over as far as transactions overall goes. We'll have to see what the data looks like at the end of the year. But I think as far as just the number of transactions closing for the entire country, we're on track to be either right at or maybe even a little bit below the number that we saw in 2008. Now, obviously, things were very different in 2008. It was very hard to get financing. There were a ton of homes on the market. People had lost tons and tons of equity, and there was much more desperation from sellers. So that's why I want to emphasize the number of transactions is going to be on that level. But the prices are obviously were at or near all-time highs. So the situation's a little bit different. A lot of homeowners that don't need to move aren't moving. Maybe it would be nice for them to move, but they're holding on to their homes. They're sitting on equity. They're comfortably making payments because their interest rates either started low or they refinanced when the rates were really low. So they're sitting on a ton of equity. And from a buyer standpoint, I think a lot of buyers are still hesitant about the interest rates. They came down a little bit and then they went back up a little bit. So we haven't really seen a big rate drop that I think a lot of buyers were expecting and hoping for to help them pull the trigger, which I can totally understand. That being said, while the market is slow, I've mentioned this in so many of my other video updates, but this is a unique window of opportunity to take advantage of homes that have been on the market for a long time, sellers that may be willing to be flexible on price and other terms, helping with closing costs, helping with agent fees, helping with, HOA fees, all kinds of stuff like that. So this is a unique window of opportunity where if you're a buyer and you're looking at purchasing in the next, let's just say you want to buy in the next year and you can comfortably do so now, this may be a good opportunity to do so, because I know a lot of buyers that are waiting until the spring. They're hoping interest rates are going to be lower, and all that does is drive up competition, because if all the other buyers are thinking that, then you're going to have competition. You're going to have multiple offers that you're competing against, and it's going to be very, very difficult, especially if you're in that kind of entry-level home price range under $500,000. Those are going to be the homes that investment companies, cash buyers, out-of-state cash buyers, those are going to be the properties that a lot of them scoop up, either as a primary residence, vacation residence. It could be an investment property, but for you, this is the home that you want to live in and make memories in for the next several years. So if you can comfortably afford the payments, if you're in a situation where you can buy, you're going to be sticking around for a while, this is a good opportunity to do it while the competition is somewhat minimal. Now, I will preface by saying that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to come across multiple offer situations. You're not going to have competition on hot homes. It's just that in the current market, we're seeing a lot less of that than we typically see when rates are low, prices are somewhat low, and it's just a feeding frenzy, and buyers are doing pretty much anything and everything to secure a home. It makes it much, much more difficult. So while the inventory is steady, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a lot of people start buying in the early months of 2025 and into the spring and throughout the summer, just because we will likely see a more comfortable environment then. But if you're thinking about buying and you can afford it now, this is a good time to do it, because you can get favorable terms. And then if the rates do drop in 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, you're locked in and you can always lower your interest rate and get a better monthly payment down the road. But if you're a seller that's looking to sell, this is a good time to take advantage of the market. You do still have to price it aggressively. You have to price it reasonably to sell, because buyers are just not willing to overpay with how many options there are out there. So if you are in a neighborhood where you have a good amount of competition and things are a little bit challenging, then you need to price it a little bit aggressively. You almost have to see it as your price will attract buyers in, and they may come in low. You may have to do some negotiation, some back and forth. But if you want to get your home sold and you have a hard deadline that you need to meet, that's going to be the biggest motivator for buyers, is price. They may sacrifice other features in a home if it means they're going to save $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on the sale price, even if they're getting financing and it doesn't have a huge impact on their monthly payment. You're talking $40, $50, maybe $100 a month for those upgraded features. They'll sacrifice it to save on price. So pricing is critical, making sure that your home is showing its absolute best for every buyer that comes through, and then just making sure that you're keeping yourself a little bit ahead of the market. Because again, with buyers jumping on price, typically when we're in a slower market, we'll typically see the lowest priced one go first. There are obviously other factors. People could fall in love with the kitchen, the backyard, the front of the home. There are other factors that are part of that, but generally speaking, the buyers that are in today's market, they're very price sensitive. Now, when you get into luxury and you get into custom homes and things like that, there's obviously a lot more variance. And in that situation, maybe you do have a little more flexibility price-wise. But if you're looking to sell, it is still a good time to do so. You just have to be extra conscious of the price that you're going in at to make sure that you're attracting the pool of buyers that are ideal for your home, rather than chasing them away because your price is too high. I get a lot of people that'll say, well, I want to price it high and I just want offers to work with. I'll come down on price. And unfortunately, a lot of buyers don't look at it that way. They see it as, well, if I come in really low, I'm going to offend this seller. It's not going to be good. They're going to be upset with me. And so rather than trying to come in low and put a deal together, they'll just pass and they'll move on to the next home. So, but that's where our market stands this week. As we go through the month of December, it'll be interesting to see what the trend looks like, how many new homes are hitting the market. If we still see that absorption rate and properties going under contract being in line with the number of new listings, I'm expecting the number of under contracts to grow over the next few months, but we'll see. Anybody that tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, well, they know about as much as all the rest of us do. So don't believe anybody that says prices are going to shoot up or prices are going to tank. Nobody really knows. All we can do is look at the data, look at the current trends, look at what's going on with interest rates and other things affecting our local economy, such as new businesses coming in that are bringing jobs, companies relocating employees over here, or other things that would drive people out of our state, which we're not seeing a lot of that right now. Vegas, even though the cost of a lot of things has gone up compared to California and some other areas, Vegas is still a very attractive place to be. So we're likely to see population growth continue over the next several years. So hope you guys got some value from this. There are two main ways that you can support this channel. The first and the easiest is please subscribe. I post new videos every week. I do property walkthroughs, market updates like this. I'm starting to do more of the lifestyle videos as well, so that you can learn a little bit more about our great city if you don't happen to live here already. It's free. Subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. Think of it as like following someone on a YouTube channel, or just like you'd follow someone on Facebook or Instagram. So please be sure to like my videos, subscribe to my channel. The other way that you can support me is if you are thinking about buying or selling, whether it's 9 days from now or 90 days from now, I would encourage you to click on the information in my description. I'd be happy to set up a no-hassle consultation. There's no charge for this, no obligation to work with me, no obligation to buy or sell your home, whether it's with me or somebody else. It really gives me an opportunity to learn a little bit more about your situation and what I can do to help. And we put together a strategy, a game plan for you to achieve your goals, whether that's buying, selling, whether it's continuing to rent, whether it's getting the heck out of here, whether it's coming into Las Vegas, whatever that may be. I just want to be of value to my great community here in Henderson and Las Vegas. So I love the opportunity. Grateful to connect with you guys again this week. Stay tuned for more and have a good one.